Welcome back to Comic Shop Talk, everybody, on the late night collectors community. I'm your host Nico, and joined with me today, as always, is my co-host Chris. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Looking forward to talking about some comics. Guys, if it's your first time checking out the show, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, that thumbs up if you like what you saw here today. Hit the notification bell to be notified of whenever these shows go up weekly. They usually drop on Saturdays. You can follow us on Instagram for updates at Late Night Collectors Community. And yeah, hit us up in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Let us know what you're reading. The things that we are going to be talking about today, though, be forewarned. Got a little spoiler warning for you guys here today. We're going to be showing off some of the art inside the books to give you an idea of what happened in them, and we'll be talking about some of the events that happen in these books. We try to stay away from the big spoilers if we can, but yeah, just be forewarned. The comics that we are talking about this week are the new comics that came out for the week of December 14th, 2022. And I just want to take a moment right now to mention also that next week will be our last show for new comics for the year. But the following week, I think the week of is it the 28th? I want to say, yeah, December 28th. The comics that come out that week. That week we will have an episode coming out where we're going to be talking about and highlighting some of our favorite things of the year. So we are going to be still dropping a show for you guys that week. And then the following week, January 4th, we'll be talking about that week's comics as well as December 28th's comics. So, so we just get a little bit of a week off there in between, Christmas and New Year's for the holidays there, guys. But we are going to be dropping a show still for you where we're kind of highlighting some of our favorite things that came out this past year. We're going to be breaking that into some categories for you guys. So you still got something to look forward to. But yeah, we're just going to take a week off from recording an episode in that sense. So yeah, with that all being said, Chris,
All right. Let's talk comics.
talk some comics. All right. And yeah, this week wasn't a big week. It wasn't a huge week, but some decent things came out, I think, here. Batman Spawn #1 probably being the biggest of the releases that came out this week. I guess this was a comic that was 1,000 variants came out for. I saw in the store.
Yeah.
I myself I got actually two covers. I got this one here, and I got the one where it's Spawn and Batman on the ground, like kind of like
Yeah.
this,
Nice.
right? So,
I
uh,
know one comic shop had a package out there where you get, I think, A to H for, I don't know, like 60 or $70. I almost was tempted to get that, but
there
I
was a lot,
didn't.
there was a lot of nice covers. There
They're
was,
all, they are nice covers, great art,
yeah, yeah.
but
I shout out to my buddy Peter that as well there, Chris. He actually ended up grabbing, I think, like all the variants for this issue. So, and I bet you he didn't actually even read it. So, what do we think about this one, Chris?
I don't know, a lot of hype. I was excited for this comic. Art freaking outstanding. Well, you can't say anything bad about that. But it's just like a Todd McFarlane Spawn story. It's a lot of freaking needless freaking talk about stuff that I can't even get over the top of my head. And what's all that stuff about the pearl or the pearl being something? Batman is a key to one of the gates. They're just jamming a lot of stuff into this. I'm glad it was a one shot. The things I did like. I like when the Joker showed up, and then all those little I don't even know what you call them, the clown, little mini clowns or whatever, all surrounding him. I thought that was a good scene. And I guess they kind of left a bit of a soundbite at the end for maybe another one shot follow through, which I don't know. I wasn't really too excited about. All this court of owls, a court of priests or whatever. That was a lot of mumbo jumbo. But I guess they did what they did. They had them fight, had them team up, and I don't really know what happened though.
Yeah, that's pretty much my review. This was very confusing. It was like Todd McFarlane writing. That's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah,
Not a great writer. I think he was dropping some things in this story that I think that he thinks readers should know, I guess, that are happening from Spawn, which I have no fucking idea because I haven't read Spawn since it originally came out in the 90s. So like there's stuff like happening in here and references to stuff that I have no idea what it even means. And then he's making up things for Batman's universe, which I feel like aren't actually established things in continuity that he just threw for the hell of it in this story. He's
Yeah.
got the Joker with the face ripped off, which happened all the way back at the start of the New 52, which Greg Capullo worked on at that time. Anyways, that all being said, this is like the art is outstanding in this issue. Like, this is worth picking up just for the art. If you want to look at some great Greg Capullo art, this is an artist that's worked on both of these characters for like, you know, like 100 issues. I feel like at this point, maybe not as much for Batman, like, but like Spawn, he's worked on like 100 issues of Spawn, absolutely, for sure. I feel like at this point in time. So this is like something that he's drawn both these characters so much, and this is some of the best work I think he's done. He looks great in this issue. So like, I can't sing enough of his praises. I think the art was fantastic in this. So like, but it just sucks because the story is so convoluted and confusing and not written well. And but you know, there were some cool visual things like that whole
Yeah.
the Joker moment, like you said here. You know, when he rips off the face and all those little tiny baby violators, that was kind of cool. Like, I was like, okay, I don't know what that's all about. And then it ended on a note where it was just like, there might be more. I don't know what that's all about. Like, there was like a violator in the void somewhere that he was that they alluded to, like, you know, that
Yeah.
there's some more to come. I think that's them just, you know, just throwing that out there. I don't think that's a
Yeah, I hope there isn't. You know, like one of the good things about this one shot is that it's been a long time since it's been done. You know, and if they keep on doing it, it's just going to lose its kind of cachet, let's say.
look at these double pages spread. And like I
Yeah,
like,
like it's definitely worth the comic getting for sure.
yeah, like it's and then the Court of the Owls was behind everything somehow. And the pearl thing, I definitely didn't understand. I don't know the significance of what was going on with his mother's pearls. And then they were trying to like reference the fact that like
Yeah, and who's this guy here? This owl character?
oh, that's
Is
the
that
guy.
a new character? Or
Oh, the Court of the Owls was something that Scott Snyder did at the start of the
I
new.
know this owl assassin here that's coming out walking around. Is he somebody new? Or has he been around for a while?
No, he's not new. I mean,
Okay,
I don't know if this is this character specifically. Do they call this guy by something by some name or something?
I
Because
don't know, like some assassin, and I don't.
I've seen owl characters that look like
Yeah.
him before. I feel
Okay.
right, so I don't think that's something new. Because there's the people that are part of the court that just have those white masks,
Yeah.
and then there's these ones that are like undead. Uh,
Okay, so they're kind of like their lackeys or whatever that
yeah,
they.
and then there's the whole scene where Spawn's. I didn't know he could do that. Like, he morphed into Batman somehow, and then he killed somebody, and he's like, "Wow, people are gonna be more scared of you now because it looks like you killed this guy," and it was
Yeah.
that killed him. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" It was like,
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
don't know.
It made it's like if you take each picture by themselves, it's like, oh, this looks awesome. Or if you read everything by itself, but when you put page after page after page, it's like, what the heck are you talking about here? You know, like.
I
But anyways,
listen, I was looking forward to this just because I like both these characters. I like Greg Capullo, but I really was not holding out hope that Todd McFarlane was going to write a good comic. You would think at this point in time, after really just mostly writing comics for the last like long while now, and like, you know, he does some art here and there for covers and inking and shit like that, but like, he's not primarily an artist anymore in that sense. Like, so like, you would think he's gotten better as a writer, but he really has not. Like, yeah,
yeah,
it's as like you said, it was confusing, and I don't know. It was disappointing in that sense, but the art is so fucking good. I can't say enough about it. So yeah, it's
yeah,
disappointing though. It's a waste. It's like kind of like you know, if Capullo hadn't worked with McFarlane, I think previous to this, I don't know why he would want to, you know what I mean, join forces with him, knowing like, you know, the type of writer he is, quite frankly.
yeah. Like, you know, Spy. I guess if Todd McFarlane wanted to make something special, he should just draw on both of them, and you know, he could have some lousy story, and you know, that'd be really something special. But it's still, like I say, it's still buzzworthy and worth buying, worth having.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but it
Yeah.
wasn't great.
Yeah, no, unfortunately. So what'd you give this one?
I'll give it a 3.75 just for the art, and you know, and just kind of the buzzworthiness and the cachet of the comic.
You read my mind. That's how much I was going to give it. I was going to give it the bump based on the art. I would like to give it more, but because of the story, it's going to stay at a 3.75 out of 5.
Yeah.
So, All right. Next up, we got Iron Man #1, a new relaunch of Iron Man written by Jerry Duggan. What do you think of this one, Chris?
I don't know. I guess it's more of a recap of where Iron Man is in his life. You know, they kind of talk about a bit of the stuff that happened there near the end of the last run, how he lost all his money and why he's doing this, and all the stuff he used to have. And I guess there's some new villain out there that that they might be introducing. I don't think they really kind of revealed who or what it is. It's sort of interesting, like I say, I'm trying to cut things down, so this might be on the chopping block. I don't think I ordered Iron Man 2, but if it did show up in my pull box, I still would read it. It's kind of interesting what's going on here. He's fighting that some other guy in an armored suit that he thinks he's a drone, and there's a surprise inside there. It's interesting, but nothing ground shaking.
Oh, I like this. I thought this was a really solid start for a new relaunch for Iron Man, and I liked how they recapped a lot of stuff that has happened to him recently. From really like they really only spent like a page or two on like the origin times of Iron Man, and then then they did spend a few more pages kind of explaining what I guess has happened to him over the last probably few years in terms of like in the
Yeah,
comics, like different writers runs on the character and stuff like that, what happened and the fact that he's broke now. And they kind of gone, you know, there's always that kind of aspect to it. I mean, they just did it with Batman where he lost all his money. Like they take away things from these characters so they can build them back up again, essentially, right? I mean,
yeah.
we've seen it happen a million times, but I thought the art was good. I thought the story was good. I actually think I'm actually really interested in this. I think I've only pre-ordered this issue as well, but I think I might just start reading this online digitally because I quite like this. I thought this was really a really solid start. And then by the end of it, it looks like he might be off the wagon again. It looks like.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to talk to you about there. I thought that'd be a big deal. That, like, I don't know if this is happening, when this is happening, but I imagine it's sort of all in continuity. And he ends up at a bar there, which I thought would be a bigger deal, but they kind of just popped it over. You got some kid taking a picture of him while he's hugging a pole there.
Yeah. And this was kind of cool. Like I feel like I've seen this done before, but yeah, like you alluded, like the villains basically just like putting innocent people inside of like Iron Man types like robot suits essentially and
Yeah,
throwing them into danger as a result of like he didn't know that there was somebody in the suit and then he just beat the shit out of him, right? So and like he's
yeah,
just a person inside of it. So like I feel like they're really play and like the fact that the building he was like he owned blew up and then like he another person innocent person got killed. Like this villain's really playing his expectations against him. Like he's ending up hurting a lot of people around him without even like you know what I mean, like
yeah,
not even trying to do that, but yet the villain's really turning the tables on him in that sense. So like that's why I think he turns to the bottle here, and maybe that was his plan all along because he goes to an AA meeting at the end of this, and then he walks out, and then he just wakes up in a fucking bathroom of a bar, right? And he's all hammered. So I'm just like, oh
yeah.
man, whatever's gone on in his life recently. He already came down, I think, in the last run, right? He was already addicted to painkillers and shit, right? And
Yeah,
now,
well, the last one he got out of rehab. He was all clean. He's supposed to be in a good place, I guess.
mhm.
And then he went to spend all his money buying those weapons from the source code or whatever. That he's just kind of keeping in I guess, a big warehouse right now.
Yeah, and Stark Industries is like in the toilet, and like I think I feel like it has actually been a long time since he's become like a drunk again. So I'm not really upset at the choice. I know some people don't like they're probably oh you're making them an alcoholic again or something like maybe rolling their eyes, but I don't feel like we've seen that for quite a while with I mean he's a crazy egomaniac and everything else. Like and like I said, I think in the last run he was addicted to like
Yeah, painkillers or whatever.
right, but I don't feel like we've seen him go off the wagon like this in a while. So like, I don't know. I'm in. I think I'm quite interested in this run actually, based off this issue. It was solid.
Yeah, I'll probably keep on reading it online, but like I
Same.
say, if it did show up in my pull box, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy it though.
What'd you give this one?
I'll give this a 3.752. I liked it. It's good art. Nothing bad in there. That's for sure.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, solid.
Right.
Yeah. All right, next up, Savage Avengers number 8.
Savage Avengers number 8. So they're in 2099 land. It's ruled by Ultron and the Deathlocks. You got Doom there. And I know what's going on in this issue here. This feels more like one of those Elseworld tales. And that's what they should have been set up as. Well, I guess maybe it is. Because they all get smoked in here at the end. At the end, everybody's dead. So, well, not everybody. I guess there's still Miles Morales is alive,
Right.
and Punisher's still alive. So I don't know how they're going to come back from this. But you got Doctor Doom there. He's teaming up with the Savage Avengers. Some good scenes there, and it's just always fun to watch everybody get smoked by Ultron and his machinations. Let's say it's a fun issue, and I kind of keep on throwing things up there that keep me interested. That if there was one I want to drop, like I say, I think I've talked about this before. I'd like to, but they keep on ranching or racking up the levels each time. So it's good. I like it.
I know it's tempting me to read it again, but every time I've done that, I'm like, it's still just okay to me. But like the events, like just looking at the book and the shit that happens and the things they're throwing out there, every time like you said, it kind of almost sucks me back in. And I didn't read this one because I dropped it and then I started reading it digitally because like whenever you kept talking about it, it looked interesting. And then I was just like, so I'm finally now I've given up, but I don't know. It just wasn't, the writing I think wasn't for me on this one. But the things that are happening in the story are so,
Miles Morales gets his web shooters back here.
yeah, they look super cool, man. Like what's going on in this book every time. I love Doom 2099, Ultron. Like there's a whole robot army and shit at the end of this.
Yeah, well, I think in the beginning they're talking about, I guess, when Ultron took over. I guess what's it, Latervia or whatever, Doom's land. Doom.
Latveria.
Yeah, Latveria, and Doom's putting up his fight, and I know Doom has like old Sentinels out there fighting, and just a whole bunch of he has like a armada of he activates every Doombot that he has to fight Ultron and the Deathlocks. And, that was pretty interesting. And then I guess when they show back up there, they go back there to find, I guess, Doom's time array gauntlet. And I think they got the key to victories in their hands, but Ultron's been spying on him the whole time, and he just comes out at the end and wipes them all out. So we'll see. I'll give it I guess another 3.75. It's not lacking, that's for sure.
Nice. Deadpool number 2.
Basically, I got this one because of the cover there, a bit of an homage to
Yes.
what's that, like a Hulk cover or something, or a Wolverine cover.
Yeah, it's
a fun kind of story. Not fun, but it's Deadpool, and it's done in the Deadpool sort of style. He's out there to try and assassinate Doc Ock, but he got kidnapped, and he's got a Carnage symbiote growing in with him. And then you find out here that with this assassination, it was basically an application for some like group of assassins. And you find out that it was a joint deal. It wasn't just Deadpool trying to apply; it was Lady Deathstrike, and he kind of totally forgot about it. And then you see all these messages from her to him. Okay, we're gonna go get him at this time, and like all the plans. And then when it was go time, he kind of ghosted her. So she shows up in here because she still wants to join this League of Assassins to try and help him out. And just crazy things ensue. I guess he's got the Carnage symbiotes growing out of him. He's got 2 arms growing out of his sides. He's got an arm growing out of his mouth. And she's still trying to finish the contract to kill Doc Ock, and then things go awry. And they find out that now at the end that they didn't succeed in their contract, so now they're kind of locked out of all the League of Assassins or whatever. I think they're Andliers or something they were called. It's kind of like that John Wick sort of thing where now they're Excomunicado or something. They can't use any of their bases or any of their
right.
connections there anymore. But that's fun stuff.
No longer stay at our hotel.
Yeah. And, and they both talk, it's always with Doc Ock there, they have him talking the way he talks, and, teaming up with Deadpool, or with Deadpool kind of talking back to him. It's always fun.
Excomunicado. So what'd you give this one?
uh, I'll give it a 3.75 too. It's another decent comic. I don't think I'll probably be reading the rest of these online.
Yeah.
This is one that's I kind of just wanted to get the number one, just in case. But that second cover got me too, and we'll see how it goes from there.
All right. Next up, I got Danger Street #1. I think I failed to mention this one last week because I didn't see it on my list for whatever reason, but I think I've only pre-ordered up to the issue 2 of this. This is a 12. This was part of the conscious effort to kind of cut things off my list. So even before it started, I was like, yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna read this and trade because this is like one of Tom King's like 12 issue maxi series type things, which I've started to learn. I think will read better in one big chunk. And I read this issue, and that's exactly how I felt about this. This is this is a hard sell. This one, like I think unless you're a Tom King fan or you're like somebody like who's like a major fucking DC mark, and especially for like old DC comics, like from the 60s or something. This is basically, from what I understand, is they had these things back in maybe it was the 60s. It's back in the day, DC. Like they had these things called like first issue specials that were like, I guess, these oversized issues of like a bunch of singular characters that are like fucking like D-list characters. So like he's using all of those characters to make up some story by using all those people, but there's some like deep cut fucking people in this issue where I'm like there's these kids, the dingbats, which I think are like Jack Kirby characters that like again you haven't seen for fucking probably 40 years, like something like, you know what I mean, like these people that like, they exist and maybe a writer will pick them up randomly now and then, and then there's like the Creeper, who again, like you see now and then, I think he's a little bit more famous, but he's a guy that Steve Ditko created. So like these are all like older, interesting characters, but they're just like I said, they're just like bottom of the barrel fucking characters that are forgotten about, I think, for the most part, or people that you see and like used to like, which like when this idea was put out there and I heard about the book, I was like, oh, I'm in. Like that sounds really interesting. Like I think that's a really cool thing, an idea, and it sounds cool. But like in this particular issue, it's kind of like a getting the band together type of situation where they haven't all exactly met up. There's a bunch of them that I guess have crossed paths by the end of this issue, but they're kind of introducing you to all of the people, all the players, I guess, in this issue. And it just really didn't give me enough to kind of go off of to be like, well, I'm really looking forward to the second issue, or like I have a clear picture of what this story's about at this point. So then I was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna pick this up and trade or something when it comes out, because like I don't even know if I'm gonna follow it online. It metamorphos in it. Like there's some interesting characters, and I like whatever the story is that's being formed right now. Like it has Dr. Fate's helmet is at the center of it somehow, like, and it's being told in like almost like a Pulp Fiction-esque type of way. It seems like the way like they're kind of like everyone's kind of coming together and the story is being told. I wouldn't say exactly like Pulp Fiction where it's kind of flipping back and forth in time, but still it's like something like that. Like the storytelling that he's using is really interesting, I think, in this. It's impressive, like most of Tom King's things. I think he's a good writer, but yeah, I'm not super invested by the end of this one. So if the second issue is the last one I pre-order, I think that's it for me on this. I might check it out and trade. So yeah, and these guys they're called the Green Team, which again, these are fucking like no name characters. I remember when the New 52 launched, like, what is it, like 10 years ago now, whenever the how long it was ago it was. Um, they did like a mini series of these people, and like I don't feel like we've seen these characters again since then. They're like rich kids. They're just like weird characters. That's what I mean. Like I don't know who this is for. I really don't know who this comic is for. I think it's gonna be a fucking super hard sell for most people. And like I said, unless you're like a really big Tom King fan and you trust what he does, and why, well, and like I said, I am, and I feel like he will do a good job of this, but I'm gonna probably just read it altogether because I'm like, I don't know what this is supposed to be by the end of this. I'll give this art was great. I'll give this I don't even know if giving a 3.5 is fair though, because I'm like, I didn't really get too much out of this. I'm gonna say 3.25 for this one. Yeah. All right, nightclub number one. I
Mhm.
also read this one as well. I didn't pick it up, but wasn't this like $2 or something, Chris?
Yeah, $1.99. I don't know how much I paid for it. Like I imagine there's the Canadian surcharge or whatever.
Yeah.
But even still, like they can't freaking jack me that much for it.
Mhm.
And it's a full comic too. It's not like some 3 page,
No.
ad or something like that. I thought it was good. I like the story. It's just a little bit of story building. You get to meet all the people there. I thought the art is decent, good actually, and the story's good. I was kind of wondering how this guy became a vampire, and it looks like just some guys looking for people that are almost dead to build an army, and kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, but then I think by the end, the hook is because they were kind of that's the way the issue started off is almost like this kid's going to use his vampire powers to become YouTube famous, right? That's what I kind
Yeah, well, I know that's going to happen, but
it looks like that.
it has like an air of Spider-Man about there. The Peter Parker times where he might be using his powers irresponsibly, but you're a vampire. Maybe that's what they do.
Yeah, because that's what I think is going to be the other kind of B plot to this story. It seems like because their friends are like, "Oh, I don't know what to do. There's no jobs out there." And then this guy showed back up on the scene at the end, and he's got the costume. He's a vampire, and like, so I don't know if that's the direction they're gonna go in because he was seemed pretty gung ho about it prior to him becoming a vampire and ending up in the
Yeah,
hospital and everything else, right? I thought that was kind of interesting. The whole YouTuber fucking generation of like we're gonna become famous and rich off of this type of shit. I thought that was like interesting as well. But yeah, the vampire story part of it's kind of interesting too. I mean, for all we know, this guy's a really bad dude because he's like, oh, what's this army for? He's like, yeah, I'll tell you later. Don't worry about
yeah.
it.
Don't worry about it. Just go. I'll call you when I'm ready for you. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Go do whatever you want. When I need you, I'll call you, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah. And this is gonna be a 6-issue miniseries. As I
Okay,
mentioned,
that's good. I didn't know that part.
yeah, as I mentioned on the show before, Mark Miller is I like the stuff he normally writes for that reason. He usually does like a 5-6 issue thing and he's out. Like he doesn't really prolong in a lot of his stories.
Yeah,
Uh
so it sounds like this story's going to start moving along pretty quick. You're not going to have to wait like 3 or 4 issues before you kind of get to the meat of it.
exactly. Yeah,
Nice.
that is kind of the writer he is. He doesn't really waste time in that sense. And a lot of the times, people have said the main reason being the fact that he's got this Netflix deal is like half of these things are in production by the time they hit the stands already, right? Here's a script, it just throws out the mini series, but he always has good people working on them. He usually always gets good artists because, again, if these do become a TV show, artists want to attach their names to these things for that reason. Like, look, he just got the Batman artist that we're talking about that's supposed to be on the Nemesis Reloaded, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's top talent, like top tier talent, as we were referring to last episode. He really does. Like, I'm not really familiar with this artist. I didn't love it at first, but then by the end of the issue, it kind of grew on me, his style, to be honest with you. I was like, okay, this is all right.
Yeah. I
So
think it suits the story very well.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. So what'd you give this one?
Well, fine. Broken record, but I'll give it a 4. I liked it. It's $1.99 all day.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a little less. I'm gonna give this one a 3.5, but I did enjoy it. I probably will read the rest digitally. Are you gonna be checking this out, the rest of it, or are you
I'll
think?
probably buy it all. I got to support a $1.99 comic. Maybe everybody else sees out there, you can sell a comic for $1.99. They won't be hitting us for like $6 with some dumbass story and the second part that nobody cares about.
I agree. I think that's a good selling point, the fact that he was selling it for this much. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there you go. Next up we got Wonder Woman 794, Chris.
Yeah, I just read this one online. I just kind of had some free time yesterday, and but some good things going on there. I guess there's some stuff brewing in the previous issues with this milk company. That I don't know what it's all about, but the gist of it is that the gods of Olympus they're getting a little antsy up in the heavens. They want to come back down to Earth and remind the human race what they're all about, and make them tremble and cower and worship them again. So I thought that's a bit of an interesting story. They're doing it in a decent way, and of course, Wonder Woman there, she's still on humanity's side, but the gods up there think they're going to sway her to their side and bring the human race under their heel. Not too bad. So I thought it was interesting.
Arrow shows up.
yeah, there's like, I'm not too familiar with all these characters. Like in the DCU, like I know them as the Greek whatever or
Wonder
the
Girl too.
mythology part, but
I like her. Wonder Girl shows up. Yara
uh,
Flor, wherever the
floating around there. I didn't read the second story, so I let that one slide.
yeah, this is too
My
cartoony.
favorite art style, of course.
Say too cartoony for Chris. I had to show it off though. So what'd you give this one?
I'll give it a 3.5. It's still good. I like the cover with milk. I like to drink milk, so I
That's
would have bought it.
that's a weird premise, the milk thing. Yeah.
Well, there was some like, basically, I think with that milk company, they were selling. I don't know if they don't like milk or something, but or if they're kind of going off this where milk has bad press nowadays, is that they were trying to like infiltrate people's minds with them through them drinking milk, like whatever some mind suppression stuff was in there
Smart.
to soften them up. Let's say.
Yeah, that's smart.
Well,
Then you got Dark Crisis Big Bang #1.
yep, I read this one online too. I've been following the Dark Crisis there. I had a bit of Dark Knights of Steel on the cover there, so I wanted to see what it was all about. And this issue was surprisingly decent, let's say, for like the Dark Crisis, whatever one shots. Basically, I think in the beginning we saw what's his name there, the Flash. He's in some home base, and he's out to do some recon work on the Anti-Monitor. And I guess the recon kind of goes awry, and he ends up kind of being seen by the Anti-Monitor. So the Flash has to, pull out some like crazy super punch where the faster he runs, the more mass he gets, and then he's kind of just zipping around the world. And then pow, he punches the Anti-Monitor in the face, and they just start blasting through all these different Earths. And they go through basically, I think, all of them. So like each panel would be a different Earth, where you see a different, version of the Trinity, and they seem to touch every each one of the ones that are out there, or most of them that are out there. Like there, you got the or whatever, Earth 66, I think, with
66.
the
That's what
Adam West and what's that, Caesar something,
Romero.
Joker, Caesar Romero, yeah, the Joker. They touched like was that the Jurassic League, everything. So
And that's
it's not much of a story. You kind of read through it, and then I think near the end, or he's there with Wally with Kid Flash, I guess. And then there, I guess they're, since he's caught, Kid Flash goes, "Oh, I brought some friends here. They're going to fight the Anti-Monitor." And it looks like near the end, the Flash is about to sacrifice himself to punch the Anti-Monitor back into some negative zone. And then, at the end, he gets saved. Everybody's all happy. And the most interesting thing is on the last page is they have just a list of all the universes or all the Earths or universes that Flash went through. And, they kind of just have a description of the most notable characters in there. And that was a fun, like it was a fun read. And this is the way you kind of can talk about, you know, put all your, kind of try and line up all your Infinite Crisis, because they touched on, the Infinite Crisis, the first Infinite Crisis, I guess, why the Anti-Monitor wanted to get rid of all the worlds
yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. So, and you're not ruining a series like Flashpoint Beyond trying to shoehorn a story like this in. You're not ruining whatever Justice League Incarnate when I was reading it, trying to freaking make everything all fit. And for that reason, I thought this issue was great. Like, and I didn't buy it too, so I thought that was great. It was a great read, but it wouldn't have been a great buy.
It looked interesting. I love when they do all those different Earths stuff. Like I do
Yeah,
like
and then just on the last page, like I say, when they have all those ones there, there's kind of interesting ones, like stuff they might not, you don't think they would recognize. I think like there's the Amalgam World or something where it's almost like the Marvel crossover universes
oh, they
are referenced, let's say.
reference that, eh? Yeah, that was the
So, that kind of, I go, oh, maybe something's up there,
I don't know.
maybe DC wouldn't mind doing a crossover with MCU, get their name out there for the movies, but who knows?
I don't think they'll ever work together again in that regard. But that would be interesting though. I'd be there for it. I actually really like a lot of those Amalgam Universe issues. I have I tracked them all down because I need that and the DC versus Marvel stuff, because that stuff, guys, that is never going to be reprinted. So if you're in the dollar bins out there and you're looking for stuff like those amalgam issues, there's a lot of good issues actually in that crossover, believe it or not. There's a lot of good artists and writers that were working at that time. I know everyone likes to shit on the 90s and, you know, about the gimmicky type shit they did, but there was a lot of cool ideas. Dr. Strange Fate, and there was Lobo the Duck instead of Howard the Duck. And, you know, like there was Dark Claw, which was Wolverine and like Batman. It was just like, you know, it was stupid, but like it was fun, man. I like a lot of that shit. The
Well, I
amalgam.
think that's my next big read is going to be that the JLA versus Avengers. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's my next. Because I did read the Hellions, 1 to 18. It's a little side note, but that's great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And a great artist on that too. That
The
was that
goat.
Sir with Sofogia or whatever.
Yeah.
I've only seen him like, you know, on his variant covers that, you know, which I'd always kind of look, you know, I'd look to buy if I had him, but he was the main artist for most of that run. Go, oh wow.
I knew you were gonna like. You liked it,
I'm
right?
upset I missed it. Like I bought a few issues. I think I bought 2 issues when it was coming out.
Yeah.
I bought the last issue. I remember reading it. I had no idea what was going on in there, and I thought it was just garbage. But when you put it all together, it's great.
Isn't it so much fun? The characterization of Sinister in that, and like,
And, you know, he kind of uses that mutant resurrection as a plot point. You know, like where he just at one point he just blasts him away for, you know, to hide his
yeah,
treachery, and kind of just I won't tell them about it. They won't remember.
Havoc was fucked in the head, and Nanny Maker, the nanny, that was the best. The nanny,
Yeah,
the nanny, that egg thing, like
yeah. Like,
orphan.
and then now they're stuck in the pit. I want to see him back now. Like I remember when I was reading, I go, what the hell is this egg in this freaking, you know, it's a Peter, whatever the thing was, that big giant robot.
Maker or whatever the hell his name was. Yeah,
Yeah,
orphan.
orphan maker. Like, how's that guy even a mutant? He doesn't have any mutant powers, but he lives in a. But I thought it was good after it. But anyways, that's the side note. Sorry, I
No,
guess we should save that conversation for after.
that's okay. No, that's cool, man. I like that side note. I'm glad you read it, man. I knew you'd like it. I loved
Yeah,
it.
that was great. I loved it.
Absolutely. All right. So yeah, you'll have to let us. You'll have to report back if you read GLA Avengers. That's a great one too, man.
Yeah,
All right. So what'd you give this one then? Dark Crisis Big Bang.
I'll give it a 4 because I didn't have to pay for it. If I bought it, it'd probably be a 3.5. But I love the story. Like I say, the best part is that they put it all in a one shot, and it didn't ruin any sort of series that, you know, you might have been enjoying, Batman Beyond, and you know, messed it up.
Nice.
Or Flashpoint Beyond. Sorry, that's the one that messed it up.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Dark Web X-Men #1, which is the 3-issue. I think it's 3-issue miniseries. That's the tie-in of like the events of the X-Men that are happening during Dark Web. And from what we already talked about when we talked about Dark Web last week, the first issue and the setup of that, we know that they are also in New York at the time of this all going down. And what's her name? What the hell's her name? The Jean Grey.
Magic or Madeline Pryor.
Madeline Pryor. Thank you. Yeah.
Goblin Queen.
Yeah. Madeline Pryor is, you know, now the queen of limbo, and Magic talks about it in this issue about how she kind of let her take over with but she promised that she wouldn't attack Krakoa. And if you actually want more context to this, it's funny. We were just talking about Hellions. You get a lot of that shit in there with the Havoc relationship with her and you know, how tortured he is by that whole thing. And
well, it's actually because of the Hellions that they ended up resurrecting
right.
Madeline Pryor.
That's right. So like, yeah, so there you go. That's actually the fact that we just talked about that gives you a lot of context into what's happening like nowadays in this. And then I think they kind of went more into the Madeline Pryor thing in New Mutants, which you were reading, correct? Is that
that's where she kind of became Queen of Limbo.
Right. So anyway, she promised that she wouldn't attack Krakoa, but now I guess she's teamed up with Chasm. She's trying to, you know, cause some shit in New York as a result of all these like Inferno days, exactly like Inferno, like all the inanimate objects are basically becoming these demon creatures and jumping to life, and it's Christmas time, and you got the main X-Men. Jerry Duggan wrote this as well, who's writing the main X-Men book, so you actually have the current X-Men group with Forge and Magic, and you know, and then you even get a Spider-Man and his amazing friends team up in this with Iceman.
That's it.
Which is really cool. I like that a lot. The artist is great on this. This was the artist that was drawing New Mutants before when you were talking about it with Magic in it as well. The same artist. Yep. Yeah, I dug this, man. I actually had a lot of fun with this one. Like I get the whole demons things turning into demons things is kind of like whatever, but like at the same time, it's like, it's reminiscent of Inferno. If you know that and you know Madeline Pryor, it all tracks. Like it works for me. And if this is like a small little 3-issue miniseries during Dark Web, I enjoyed this enough to continue with it. I thought this was good.
Yeah, the vibe I'm getting from this Dark Web series is that it's more of a fun vibe, not a.
Yeah.
It's not something, some gritty, life changing,
Yeah.
evil. I guess they're trying to portray that, I guess, with the Chasm character, but like everything else is just more of like a playful, like fun vibe. Like, they do this stuff with Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I thought that was great. Well, especially like even just that picture there with the scene, that's pretty much right out of the cartoon or the beginning of the cartoon ad. And, they even kind of say, "Oh, we should never team up again." Just fun lines like that.
Yeah, I'm with you because like I think for that reason the event, because it's not taking itself super serious, it is actually kind of fun. And because so many
It's making it better for me, let's say.
and not only that, again, we mentioned this last episode after we read Dark Web. This is a full-on 90s type event. There's Inferno in here, there's clones, there's Ben Riley. This is all shit. Venom is like the 90s Venom. This is all things from the 90s in this event. So like again, if any nostalgia for that, or you're just going along with it for the hell of it, like in that sense, you can have some fun with this one. It's not bad so far. It's okay.
Yeah, I guess maybe they might put a few plot points in here, like with did his suit just break down like that?
He looks exactly like Madeline. I know that. I thought that
Can't go wrong with it. And especially what's Scott Summers is like, "Hey man, what the hell are you wearing?"
Yeah,
what, my suit just broke.
Woke up like that in Madeline's dungeon. Yeah, but again, like following up on the fact that he's so damaged from this relationship from Hellions, like this was.
Yeah, well, I thought she liked him though, but I guess not. She wants to give him the boots too.
No, she hates the Summers. She hates both of them, right? Because the fact there's going to always be that connection because she's literally a clone of Jean Grey. And not only that, then his brother fell in love with her, and she looks exactly like fucking Jean, but she's probably just like more stacked. Like it's kind of ridiculous, or at least she's showing it off more.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic, man. This whole Madeline Pryor Havoc Cyclops.
I don't want to dig too deep there.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But like, I liked it. It was good. I thought it was quite fun, actually.
Yeah, I regret not buying this one. If I see it around there, I might pick it up. But I thought it was a good issue too. I liked it.
Yeah. I was gonna give it 3.75, but just talking about it, I think I might give it a 4. I actually did have a lot of fun with this one. I'm gonna bump it up for a 4 because I really like the art. And I like a lot of aspects of this issue, especially, like I said, the amazing Spider-Man's Amazing Friends thing and everything else. Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, like I say, I'm not a big fan of all those stupid monsters talking. And then I know they're giving them souls there too or something, because a lot of them, like that big tree was, I don't know, it's like they don't want to be there or something. But anyways, besides the point there, I think something good might come out of this, but I'll give it a 4 too. I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, then finishing up here, as always, with Amazing Spider-Man number 15, which is the first issue, I guess, of now being in the Dark Web event as well. What do you think of this, Chris?
Well, can't John Romita Jr. take a break and let the freaking artist that drew the comic do the cover? Come on, guy. Because the art in this one was freaking jackpot.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
If this guy could do the whole, like, this is a top tier artist that belongs on a top tier title.
He drew the anniversary issue, the one that was the oversized one, number 6.
Yeah.
It was. Remember that we
talked the Adaptoid ones or whatever.
Yeah, he drew that one as well. Like he's been. It seems like every arc at the end he'll come on for like a issue so far. Yeah, he's great at McGinnis. I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I hope he does a lot more, fills in a lot more. Maybe John finds something else to do. But bang, look at that Venom there. I thought it was kind of stupid how they brought Venom back, but I love that he's back. And he's like the old Venom.
Lethal Protector Venom. Yeah, he even says it in this. He's like, I'm the lethal.
Yeah, but I don't need no Lethal Protector. He wants to freaking chew out Spider-Man's brains.
You know what was stupid though? Yeah, and the brains thing. You know what was stupid though? They're like, "Wow, you want to find out why he's like this? In Venom in 2 weeks." I'm like, for fuck's sakes, man! Like,
exactly. That should have been freaking last week or this week. That episode should have come out.
Come on.
Or that issue. Sorry.
Come on. Like,
Like you got to get this timing down better. It's not like big. Well, I guess they're trying to do big things in Venom, but they could have skipped an issue there. That's freaking. I don't know. I don't even know how they're gonna go back to regular Venom after you seeing this guy back. There he's freaking King in Black, and now he's freaking Dummy in Black here.
yeah.
Like he was a god, and now he's getting punched out by Spider Man. But it's still fun to watch, fun to read. Like I say, I think I'm changing my expectations of what this dark web was supposed to be. And if they want to kind of run and gun as a fun series, with I guess whatever the Ben Riley, the Chasm undertone, maybe that's serious. I don't know. Maybe that might just turn into nothing too. So if that's okay too, I don't really like Ben Riley, anyways.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of him, but it was so like, yeah, I'm with you actually. To be honest, like while I read it, I didn't really give it too much thought, but now talking about it, yeah, you're right. I do like the fun 90s vibe and like the fact that they're not taking it too serious, because we have so many fucking serious events where they're like, oh, big things are gonna happen and change, and then like nothing ever comes of it, right? And ultimately, like it's just like disappointing. Like, at least this is,
Yeah.
they're it seems like they're they're just having a good time with this. I feel like with the stupid 90s Venom stuff. Like it's so stupid. Like Kazu shows up and he literally just comes face to face with Spider-Man. He's like, like, I'm just
Well,
like,
like Peter's like, oh my god, you made it! I love you. Thank God you're back. God's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. It's like, what? Wait, whoa, what's going on? Time out, man. What happened here?
yeah, it was like, I mean, the fact that he's like, and then like J. Jonah Jameson walks in and he's got his feet up. He's like, hey, it's so ridiculous. Oh man, yeah, this is definitely one of those books I've had more fun talking about it than I did reading it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just like
Yeah.
the things I was just questioning while I was reading. I was like, what the hell is this? And now that we're talking about it, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun. It's so stupid when he walked in and he's got his feet up on the desk. Oh man.
Yeah, and then fucking boom, he dropped these pages there with some
Yeah, it looks
some more
great.
deep in Madeline Pryor. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. The freaking art is great.
Yeah. What'd you give this one, Chris?
I'll give it a 4. I think it's the first comic I read when I got my stack, and I liked I like that art. Just if John Romita was doing this would be an easy 3 or 3.5. But that art just takes it back, brings me back right to the day there. I
I
liked it.
I haven't minded Ramita on the book, to be honest
I
with
don't mind him on his when he's doing his stuff there, but I guess this is kind of taking away from I guess whatever Peter was up to back in whatever he was before this.
you. Yeah.
But
Yeah. But I do agree that Ramita doesn't always work, and it also doesn't always work for like what they want to do.
worse for a freaking sad Peter Parker, freaking boo. When they show him freaking brooding and walking away sad,
Yeah.
and meeting up with MJ and she's giving him freaking grief. That's fine there, but he wants some fucking action.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
There you go. You need that McGinnis. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the books that we read this week that we wanted to talk about. Let's talk about what we are looking forward to reading and picking up next week. Let's see here. You got your list ready there?
We got a list. That's a small Marvel week next week. That's for sure. At least for me.
Yeah. What do you got?
Well, I got Spider-Man Lost Hunt 2. I just bought that because of the cover. I got Spider-Man freaking his head mounted on the wall, so I thought that was kind of cool. I did read number 1, that's because this is like another Elseworld tale where I think Mary Jane's pregnant, Spider-Man's got no powers, and they move to Portland. Yay. Not really doesn't really sound like something you want to read,
Yeah.
but I'm reading it, whatever. I got Strange 9, Avengers Forever 12, Dark Crisis 7, Nightwing 99, Batman and Robin 4, Catwoman 50, DC versus Vampires All Out War, I think it's 6, and Deceased was at 5. That's it for me.
Oh, Deceased come. Oh yeah, I do have that here. Yeah. Yeah. So one's because I'm reading online. I didn't have on my list, but you just mentioned 2 of them. The DC versus Vampires, the All Out War, the last issue 6. Yeah, I'm reading that, and I'm also reading Avengers Forever 12. I think you said it was.
Yeah, it's all part of the
Yeah. Reading
whatever.
Then I'm picking up Batman Superman World's Finest.
I might be getting that. I'm not sure if I ordered it or not.
Okay, Batman versus Robin 4. I got Dark Crisis 7, the finale. I got that. Deceased, War of the Undead Gods number 5, Nightwing 99. Then I got I Hate Fairyland number 2. Oh, another big release here. I don't know if did you mention this there, or maybe I just didn't hear it. Mary Jane and Black Cat number 1. Did you mention that?
Oh, yeah. Is that coming out next week? I did order it, so
Yeah, that comes out
if
next
that's
week.
next week. Yeah, then definitely getting. I didn't. Maybe I just missed it on my list.
It's on my list here. Strange 9. And then again, another one you may have forgotten about there. Vanish 4 comes out next week.
Okay, I didn't see Image. Sorry, I didn't look at Image.
Yeah, so Vanish.
But yeah, I think I got Vanish on the automatic pull.
Nice. So yeah, decent looking week actually next week.
Yeah,
So
not too bad.
yeah, good size and some good stuff coming out. So yeah, looking forward to talking about that.
That's it. End off the year with some good comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it looks good. Looks good on paper, anyways, at this point. All right. Anyways, now we've gotten to the point where we're going to talk about our favorite book of the week here, and I'm confused now. I don't know what to
I don't know either. Like, there's no real standouts.
No, I thought I figured it out, but then we talked about the dark web books, and I feel like those got bumped up from 3.75 to 4s for me. So I'm like, I don't know now. I could go with my initial reaction of when I read all these, or I could go with something in its place as a result of our conversations here.
I think I know what I'm going for.
I think I'm gonna go with, based off of our conversations here, I'm gonna go with the Dark Web X-Men number 1. Actually, I'm gonna go with that. I was gonna go with Iron Man, but I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna go with that because ultimately there was a lot of fun stuff in that issue and I really enjoyed the art. While Iron Man was a great start, but it didn't give me kind of anything, I guess, too new. And like you said, like half the issue was kind of like more of a recap than anything.
Yeah.
Like, really solid start. Like I almost gave it to that, but after our conversation, I'm going to give it to the Dark Web X-Men number 1. I had a lot of fun with that one. So yeah, we'll give it to that.
I'm going to give it to ASM 15.
Yeah.
I loved it. Wow. I did love it. That's good.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go, guys. Look at that. Some 2 dark web books, actually different ones for our favorites of the week this week. How about it?
And it is a fucking shitty series. Well, I don't want to say it's shitty, but it's definitely not what I expected.
No, and it's not like amazing, but like I said, as you guys could tell, we had fun talking about the book. So that's
that's basically what it's about. It's fun to talk about. Like it's no Judgment Day. It's no I don't know. It's no like X-Men House of X or whatever they do over there when they have their miniseries.
Yeah.
But it's fun and I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. So there you go. Look forward to more of that then. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. As I mentioned once again, next week will be our last show talking about the new comics that come out this year. But we are going to be coming out with a show on the week of the new comics for the week of December 28th. And we will be talking about what we read that week, but the following week in January, I guess 4th of the new year. Yeah, that week of comics, we'll be talking about kind of 2 weeks worth of comics, as well as on the 28th, you got to look forward to an episode where we talk about our favorite things from this year that we've talked about.
Yeah, a bit of a year recap, I guess, almost.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun too. So make sure to tune in for that one, guys. All right. Well, that's going to be it for today, though. That being said, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Chris, as always.
All right. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, man. Later, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.